So let's finish our series on encounters with the risen Christ, looking at Paul this week. So far we've looked at Jesus appearing to the woman outside the tomb, the disciples in the upper room, Peter on the shores of the Sea of Galilee. These were all people who already knew Jesus. They'd walked a journey with him, they'd seen him die, and his appearing to them in resurrected form changed them forever. But Paul was a different case. Paul never knew Jesus the man. He didn't encounter Jesus before his death. He was a zealous, aggressive Jew who couldn't stand Christians. And so he persecuted these Christians, locking them away or killing them for believing in this Jesus and spoiling what he considered the true religion, Judaism. And so when he encountered the risen Christ, he wasn't a good guy in need of restoration. He was an enemy of the cross, a sworn enemy of Jesus. And so go ahead and read Acts chapter 9, verses 1 to 25 if you have the time this morning, and see the whole story. In verse 3, we read that as he neared Damascus, suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him. He fell to the ground and heard a voice say to him, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" "Who are you, Lord?" Saul asked. "I am Jesus who you are persecuting," he replied. "Now get up and go into the city and you'll be told what to do." The men traveling with Saul were speechless. They heard the sound but didn't see anyone. Saul got up from the ground and he was blind for 3 days and didn't eat or drink. Now, this is a picture of Jesus that most people don't like to think about. We like to think of Jesus gentle, meek and mild. But here's Jesus appearing to Saul and absolutely knocking him off his feet. I've heard people say, God is a gentleman, he'll never force his way into anyone's life. I think there are cases where God has to catch someone's attention in a spectacular way like this, even if it knocks them to the ground and blinds them for a time. Sometimes God needs to do something drastic to get our attention. I'm sure you know people who would not believe unless God did something drastic in their lives. So let's pray for people like Saul who need a great big moment from God. Maybe there's someone who can use your prayers because they just need God to encounter them in a powerful way like this. And for you and I, friends, let's not forget to fall on our knees before the risen Christ. So often we forget that Jesus is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So often we forget that he deserves our worship. So often when people encountered Jesus, even before he died and was risen, they fell on their knees before him. They were so humble to be in his presence. Oh, let's fall on our knees like Saul did, recognizing that in Jesus we see God's splendor, God's glory, God's greatness. Don't have a small view of God. Have a huge view of God, because he's huge. He holds the universe in his hands. We should fall down in adoration at the thought of him. Saul did when Jesus encountered him. Let's fall down in awe of this God today and every day of our lives.